Oh, baby, what a game. Oh, I love it. What's going on? I am Matt O'Leary, gonna be hanging out with you for about an hour or so on this Sunday evening. And man, oh man, what a day of football so far, folks. I said, you know what? After last week, we were pretty spoiled in the divisional round. You had four incredible games. Each one was better than the next. You had the Bengals win on a game winning field goal, the 49ers win on a game winning field goal, the Rams win on a game winning, and then you got the Chiefs winning on a game winning. I said, there is no way that you can do it. And then today, this is what happens, folks. So the Chiefs jump out to this early lead. They're up 21-10. They got the ball deep in Bengals territory as time is ticking down. And Patrick Mahomes, man, he says, give me one more shot at the end zone, Andy Reid. I want to get the ball in the end zone. I wonder if SNY would call Patrick Mahomes selfish, by the way. Just a thought. But anyway, they said, one more play, please. And they throw the ball at the line of scrimmage instead of going end zone. And the Bengals come up with the tackle. Time runs out. That's that, right? Here is where things go from bad to worse. At halftime, the Chiefs made the terrible mistake of letting Walker Hayes take the field to perform at halftime. And sure, some will point to that terrible decision to throw the ball not in the end zone. Not me. I will point to letting Walker Hayes perform at your stadium. That is what made you deserve to lose that game. And then the second half comes around, and the Cincinnati Bengals defense comes to life, only allowing 3 points, in the second half and in overtime. And Joe freaking Burrow, man, marches his team down the field time and time again. They get a couple costly or timely, I guess you could say from the Bengals perspective, a couple timely interceptions. And, oh, there you go. For the first time since 1989, the Cincinnati Bengals are Super Bowl bound. They went from not winning a playoff game in my lifetime, right? I'm 26 years old. I'm going to be 27 in a couple of months here. I never before this year saw the Cincinnati Bengals win a playoff game, and now they're going to the freaking Super Bowl after knocking out the Raiders in the first round, the fraudulent 1 seed in the Tennessee Titans, but then going into Arrowhead and winning a big game on the road. Tremendous stuff. I love it. It's fun. This is why we like football, man. And am I happy because I bet on the Bengals? A little bit. But I also like Patrick Mahomes losing. And I like Mahomes, okay? But his fiance / girlfriend, I don't know if they're engaged or married or whatever, Brittany and Jackson Mahomes, I am #done with Jackson Mahomes and Brittany, whatever her last name is. I'm done with it. Give me all the Joe Burrow love. I am bought in, and that is my team. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And look, this is the Cincinnati Bengals, who in 2019 won 2 football games. They then obviously got lucky. They moved on from their then franchise quarterback and Andy Dalton. They decide to draft a young quarterback in Joe Burrow. Now, Joe Burrow gets hurt as a rookie, and they win last year? 5 games, something like that. And now they're in the Super Bowl, but they drafted a receiver in the first round. Can another team who won 2 games in 2020, drafted a rookie quarterback in 2021, had that rookie quarterback get hurt in 2021, can they do that in 2022? Talking about the Jets, folks. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but yeah, it's just fun. I feel good for them. Oh, Mutt Files is in on it. Let's go. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Mutt Files says, screw it. Jets are going to the playoffs next season after watching the Bengals go to the dance. By the way, the Jets now beat the Super Bowl bound Bengals. Mutt Files, not only did the Jets beat the Super Bowl bound Bengals, but backup quarterback Mike White beat the Cincinnati Bengals on Halloween, no less. 34-31, right? I believe 34-31. Wild. I absolutely love it. Mumtaz chimes in. Mumtaz, what do you got? Bengals made a great investment when they invested high. 5th round pick in McPherson at the time. Some people thought that was a bad idea. We need one. I don't know if there is a kicker in this draft who is going to project to be drafted. I'm honestly telling you, I don't know. I've started working on the draft, obviously, but I don't know if there is a kicker who is expected to be drafted in this draft class. Eddie Pinheiro, I will say, did come in and kick pretty well for this team, but you probably need a long-term answer. But man, McPherson with some ice in his veins the last couple of weeks, 2 game-winning kicks. I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you for the super chat, Mumtaz. Oh man, I'm so amped up. I love football. I love gambling on football too. This game I'm excited for. This one coming up right here. We'll get into questions and stuff like that too. Don't worry. Like I said, I'm hanging out for like an hour or so. We're only 7 minutes in. I got to pace myself here. In this game, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but the San Francisco 49ers bore me to tears. Now, I love Kyle Shanahan, and I've been the biggest Mike McDaniel stan running for a year straight at this point. But I'm just outside of Debo Samuel, I'll actually on the team and the coaching staff. I don't really care about the 49ers. I'd like to see the Rams win. I might be in the minority there by saying that I want the Rams to win this game, but I like Stafford a lot. He's been one of my guys. Like, I will go to the grave defending Phillip Rivers, Tony Romo, and Matthew Stafford. Those, I think, are 3 of the criminally underrated quarterbacks of our lifetime because they haven't won anything, and people put so much stock in quarterbacks, what they've won, instead of looking at what they've done in certain things, outside of just wins and losses. So I love it. Let's get to some of these comments in here. Give me the Rams tonight. Scott chimes in. What props you like tonight, Matt? If we want to go a little YOLO here, all right. So this is living life on the edge. I talked about it for Odds Checker on our show there. 49ers defense anytime touchdown scorer at plus 600. Now, plus 600 obviously is a pretty big boy return. So if you probably don't want to go a full unit on that. That is something you take a flyer on, but it's something that I'm taking a flyer on because they scored a touchdown last week on the blocked punt. You also have Matthew Stafford, who has made a habit this year of throwing pick sixes. I think he has 4 pick sixes this year. But I think if the 49ers are going to be in this game, they need a defender to make a big time play. Also, I mean, you're not going to get much value, but Debo Samuel, anytime touchdown scorer, I think I like his chances to get in the end zone. Tyler Higbee is someone I like as an anytime touchdown scorer. I think you can get pretty good plus money on Debo to score 2 touchdowns. So if you're in on the 49ers and Debo going for some massive points there, maybe that's the route that you want to go. Jay chimes in with a great point here. You can scheme 1 wide receiver, can't scheme 2 or 3. Draft Burks. Jets have to get a wide receiver, whether it's through a trade, whether it's through the NFL draft. I don't think there's going to be one of a massive impact in free agency. So instead, what I think your plan should be is more than likely draft somebody. I like Traylon Burks too. Maybe if the Jets want Drake London or Garrett Wilson, whoever, great, go for it. Take him at 10. And if you really want to make life easy for Zach, take Evan Neal or Ike Makwanu at pick 4. And there you go. Want to know why? Because both those guys can play guard and they can play tackle. So they're versatile. So in year 1, they could start at guard, have Mekhi Becton and George Fant as your tackles, and see what happens. If Mekhi Becton gets hurt again, then you kick out Kwanu or Neal to tackle and go with them as your franchise guy. And then you extend Fant, or if that's not the case, if Mekhi's healthy and plays at the Pro Bowl level that he looked like he was playing at as a rookie, then you say, okay, great. I'll play him on the left side. I'll have my other young tackle play on the right side. And George Fant, thank you for your service. You were, a really good player here, but you can go after this year. So we'll see. But I agree, man. The Jets need more weapons. And today also showed me you need tight end. Like Travis Kelce, I know they obviously didn't win the game, but what he does for that Chiefs offense is just incredible. What do we got here? Dark Soldier, 2019 bank. Yeah, we talked about this. 2 wins, both in December versus Cleveland. Draft Burrow, 4 wins against Tennessee, Jacksonville, and Houston. Super Bowl 2020. Jets 2 wins. I'm in on this, man. Let's do it. I would love that. I mean, it's it's fairly optimistic, I think, but hey, it's the NFL. Crazy stuff happens, and we're due. I need some water in me. Give me a second. Rivers played on a torn ACL in an AFC. He definitely played hurt. I don't remember if it was a torn ACL. He definitely went on a playoff run with an injury, though. I don't remember if it was an ACL, Matt. I don't remember that. We got some other thoughts on props. Cup will get into the end zone. We got another one. Cup under 102, OBJ over 55. Oh yeah, give me all the OBJ props. By the way, they've really fed him a lot. And like Cup, you're not going to get good value on any Cooper Cup prop just because he's unbelievable. So I think you got to dig a little bit deeper, and that's where you find like a Higbee prop that you like, or OBJ. As I'm watching right now, OBJ catches one in the flat on the first play of the game. So there you go. Thoughts on trading down for Garrett Wilson from 10? I think that's risky, dude. I think you just take whatever receiver you like the best at 10. I wouldn't trade down. I don't think you're kind of playing with fire at that point. Somebody's going to take him by the time, like, it depends on how far you're moving down, obviously, but I just say take whichever receiver you like the best at 10. Nick H, the defense can kiss my ass. We need playmakers for Zach Wilson. There's a world where you can do both, which I think some fans, I'm not saying Nick here, but in general, I see too much where it's like, you can't possibly want to draft an offensive lineman and a wide receiver when you had the 32nd overall defense. And BJ drops a pass. That's not good for anyone with the OBJ prop on 3rd and 3, no less. But anyway, back to the defense. When you see the 32nd ranked defense, you say, oh, you got to go out and draft Kyle Hamilton and Derek Stingley. Okay, I guess, but then don't be mad if the young quarterback isn't taking the strides that you would have liked him to do. It's crazy. Jerome, Matt, what's your opinion on George Pickens from Georgia? Seems like an ideal target for Zach. Interesting. The injury is going to play a major factor there for where he's drafted. I like the talent. I just have no idea where I'm projecting him to go. I think there's a chance he could sneak into the first round. I also think there's a chance that he's like the 6th or 7th wide receiver taken. It's really hard to get a feel on it right now. We're still a long ways out. Probably have a better answer for you in like early April, but I do like Pickens. I think he's a great receiver. And if he didn't get hurt, he probably would have been higher up on this list. Oh, Jay Spector with a nice comment here. Revenge Super Bowl for the Bengals will march 92 yards to win versus San Francisco. There you go. I just think I don't want to watch Jimmy Garoppolo try to play quarterback in the Super Bowl. I think that's where I'm at right now. And I'm just watching the Rams defense swarm. I don't know. I like the Rams. I do. And like I said, I know that's kind of an unpopular take. A lot of people don't like the Rams for going, they went all in. They traded for Stafford. They bring in Odell. They trade for Von Miller. But I really like McVay a lot. And I'm all good for that. And I like Stafford, as I said. V-Man chimes in. Oh, V-Man. We got to talk of Brady too. So I'm glad you mentioned this. Brady will retire. He is just waiting for his $15 million bonus. This report from his dad seems like damage control to me because it leaked early. I think this is highly likely. Now, I'm done, and I'm sure you guys as Jets fans in here, I am really, really done with Tom Brady. Now, I get it. He's in the NFC now. He's out of our lives for 20 years. He beat up on the Jets for a very, very long time, but it's just, I'm over it. I'm done with it, man. He's won, 7 Super Bowls? He's been to a Super Bowl 10 out of his 21 years as a starter, right? That's crazy. 7-3 in Super Bowls. It's just like enough is enough. I want to see some of these other guys. I want to see more Burrow. Um, Obviously, Mahomes didn't get back, but Mahomes will get another Super Bowl, I'm sure, along the way. They're a great team. And as you saw, Kittle wide open and Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't hit him. This has been a really sloppy start for these teams, not being able to convert on third down. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just so over Tom Brady. I really am. I'm sick of it. I don't care that he's in the NFC South. I just don't. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't. Thank you, V Man, for chiming in. This is a great point, by the way. Still need some more protection for Wilson. Moses won't be back next year. I'd like to talk about Moses for a second. Morgan Moses was a very good Jet this year, right? Signed on a 1-year deal, signed very late, but it was someone who, pretty much everyone circled and said this would make a ton of sense for this Jets team because they need offensive line depth. They had a terrible offensive line under Sam Darnold, and they just, you need to make life easy for your young quarterback. And he came in, and in the first game, he didn't start. Mekhi Becton gets hurt, but he comes in and plays really, really good at a high level. And the reason why I don't think he's going to come back is because he played at a high level. He's going to want to go somewhere and get a starting job. He is not guaranteed a starting job if he comes back here. Fant is going to start. Whether it's on the left side or the right side is to be determined. But Mekhi Becton is also going to get a chance to start, whether that's on the left side or the right side. I personally think Mekhi should get the crack on the left side, but I think more than likely you're going to see a battle out in camp, and whoever performs the best gets to start at left tackle, and the other starts at right tackle. But why would someone like Morgan Moses, who ended up playing, 15 games for this team and playing really well, say, yeah, I'm going to take another 1-year flyer contract at this point in my career to be a backup? I don't see that. So I'm here. I agree with this take, by the way. What else do we got? Okay, so from 1189 Paris, is George Karlaftis worth drafting at pick 4 when he's arguably the third best edge rusher in the draft? Trading down may be the Jets' best option for this draft, or maybe next year's draft, which is better. I am still a Karlaftis fan. I would be okay if that's the pick at pick 4. But I've been in recent weeks, especially, and obviously this is expected because things change from, I don't know, October to December to the January, and then all the way by the time it's draft night. I think you're going offensive line or edge at 4. I don't think it's going to be Hamilton. I don't think it's going to be Stingley. If it is defense, I think it would be Karlaftis at 4. I personally would say yes, I would do it. I know some don't, but I think there's no question that if Neal is gone, Thibodeau and Hutchinson are gone, and then right there at At pick 4, I think it would be Ika Makwanu. I think that would be the play. And then at pick 10, you go in wide receiver to me. But I like George Karlaftis. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't think he's going to be a good NFL player. I do. I think people are overreacting on Karlaftis, just like some people were overreacting on Evan Neal, saying that he wasn't, going to be one of the top players taken off the board, which is strange. I've seen mocks where he wasn't. And I think, it's the same thing with Thibodeau to an extent. I think people just get like almost draft saturated and they look too much into these prospects and then they find ways to talk themselves out of them being good. It's kind of where I'm at. Okay, Joe, do you really want to waste the 4th pick in the draft on a right guard? I don't view it as a waste because it's not a right guard for forever. It's a right guard for one season, move to either left or right tackle. I don't see what's the issue here? I don't understand how is that possibly a waste if you're finding someone who could come in and start at a high level at guard for 1 year, move if either Mekhi Becton isn't your guy, go play left tackle or right tackle even, something that he's done in college, and then move to the outside in year 2. I don't get it. How's that a waste? In what world is that a waste? Do you want your young quarterback to have a shot or no? Offensive line, wide receiver, edge. Important positions. Positions that matter, please. I don't want to hear about Kyle Hamilton. I don't want to hear about Derek Stingley. I just don't. I don't think that's your recipe to find yourself playing in championship weekend at this time next year. If that's the ultimate goal, right? You want to win games? You better make sure your second-year quarterback is in a good spot to do that. What did Eli Apple tweet? Am I gonna have to go pull this up? Hang on. I'm gonna go pull it up. Eli Apple. He was a bum. He dropped the game-winning interception today. Okay. This is a quote from Eli Apple's Twitter account. When you walk in the lion's den, you don't walk in top-toeing. I think he means tiptoeing. Nah, you kick that door down screaming like a banshee and say what them MFers at. And the number one reply to the tweet is a picture of burnt toast. Tyreek Hill put him in an absolute blender in the first half. Blender in that first half. It was ugly, dude. It was really ugly. I'm just checking Twitter now. Because everyone's going nuts over this. That's funny. The burnt toast, I think, is my favorite one. Oh my God. KF101. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat. You're an absolute legend. Shea Stadium Jets fan here. If we address the cornerback and linebacker in free agency, the first 2 picks should be defense. Then if we go wide receiver, tight end, offensive tackle, running back, and possibly an additional tight end, think West Coast offense, we would have our base covered. Okay, let me read more time. We just cornerback and free agency in the draft. The first 2 picks should be on defense. Then if we go wide receiver, tight end, offensive tackle, running back, and possibly an additional tight end. Okay, let me break this down. I think cornerback and linebacker in free agency is absolutely a must. Right? Absolutely a must for the Jets. I don't think they would go. What 2 picks are you going at defense at 4 and 10 at that point? The only one you could possibly convince me on is edge at 4, but then I think you go wide receiver at 10. But I mean, the positions you read off here, Makes sense. Wide receiver, tight end, offensive tackle, running back, and maybe another tight end. So wide receiver is the obvious. You need one more. Corey Davis and Elijah Moore is a great start. You bring back Braxton Berrios for depth, add one more big one. Perfect. You need two tight ends. Whether you go one in free agency, one in the draft, or two in the draft, that's fine. You just got to come away with, at the end of the day, adding two legitimate options at tight end. Offensive tackle, I agree with, because the scenario I just listed out. And then running back, you absolutely need to get a bigger body guy in here to complement what you already have at the position. Love it. I agree, especially when you say think West Coast offense. Because if you remember, early on this season, the Jets tried to run a two tight end set. They tried really damn hard. We have Tyler Croft, Ryan Griffin, and Daniel Brown trying to do it. Don't work, man. It just flat out doesn't. So, yeah, they need it. They need a lot of help. KF 101, really, really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it, brother. 11-18 Paris chimes back in. The Jets still need an edge rusher. Hell yeah, they do. Hell yes, they do. Because you look at it, right, in this game, Hendrickson was a free agent last year. The Jets elected to go with Carl Lawson instead. Listen, Carl Lawson was fourth in the NFL in pressures in 2020. Was there a pick? There was just pick in this game. I'm going to get back to the edge rusher in a second. Matt, damn it. See, Stafford had a pick. I told you. If only it was a pick six, we would have been sitting pretty right now. Damn it. Oh. But yeah, for the edge rushers, you need one on the other side of Carl Lawson. That's kind of where I was going with this. Huff, nice rotational guy. The guy they just picked up from Dallas, whose name is escaping me at this moment, nice rotational guy. You need more there, though. John Franklin Myers is going to move back inside. Quinn Williams is going to be inside. Sheldon Rankins, more of an inside guy, obviously. So there you go. Love it. Where are we at here? I just had a chat that I need. Oh, here we go. There's a couple right in here. There's good linebackers in this draft. I agree. Whether it's like at the top, Lloyd and Nakobe Dean obviously are number 1 and 2 in this draft. But even after that, Mama, Brendan Smith, Christian Harris, there's a bunch of guys right there. We beat the AFC champions. Burrow is a dog. Fun to watch. Sneakers to boots. You hit it right on the head, man. You absolutely hit it on the head. That is a fun team to watch right there. And I hope that our team could be fun to watch like that. I really do. Oh, here's one from Tommy Hess. This is what I wanted to get to. What do you think about signing Gallup if they let him walk? Another good, not great receiver. Like that, I put him and Corey Davis in that same category. Like a really good wide receiver, a second wide receiver. I don't think it moves the needle enough for me. Another Eli Apple tweet. Oh yeah, that Chiefs cheetah pack finna hit way crazier the second time. Did he say that? I gotta go find. You said I saw in the chat DJ Bienemy. All right, so let me go look that up. He retweeted something. All right, let's see if I can find it, guys. Bear with me. I can't spell his name for some reason. I might be blocked. Can't find it. But anyway, that's funny. That's really funny. Here we go, Luca. I don't know why people dislike Karlaftis. When I mocked him to the Jets at 4, people said it was a reach. He's a very polarizing draft prospect. People love him or hate him. The reason why people think he's a reach is because he wins more with power than he does elite moves. and people worry if that is going to translate. I am not one of those people who are worried. I like what he brings to the table as a pass rusher. I like his motor. I think that really sets him apart. I think his the level that he plays at is just truly remarkable. So I would like him on my team. Is it my favorite option at this point? Probably not anymore. But I'm not going to be upset if George Karlaftis is a Jet next year. Just wouldn't. Kane Smith chimes in. All right. Thoughts on James Daniels from Chicago? I want to give him 4 years, 56 million. He's 24 years old. He had the best career season, great PFF grade. We would love him at right guard. I'm good with a right guard in free agency. That's cool. I think James Daniels is good. The right guard playing in this game is pretty good for the Rams. There's some options that you could go. Sheriff obviously is going to command some big money, but I don't know, with his injuries, that kind of scares the life out of me. So I might not want to go that direction. I would not be mad if the Jets signed Daniels. Really wouldn't be. I think he'd be a good fit. Hawk, we also beat the number 1 seed Titans. Jets, goats. Love it. They beat the Titans. It makes no sense. They beat the Bengals and the Titans. Absolutely wild. Jack Gaming 317. Thoughts on trading Carolina second for DJ Moore? That'd be a nice little FU right back to them. We're going to take a 4th round pick and DJ Moore for Sam Darnold. Yeah, I'm in. I think DJ Moore is better than some people even think. Let's pull up his numbers for a second here. Just give me a second. He put up some really good numbers this year on a team that just flat out was not very good. And he's only 24 years old. He's going to turn 25 in April. He has 3 straight 1,100-yard seasons. Obviously, touchdown numbers aren't great. Kid can play. I think he'd be a good addition. I would do it. Let's look at this chat. There's a zero chance they are trading him for a second. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't think so. A top 40 pick. It might be a top 40 pick and something else, but I don't think we're guaranteed that he's going to be a 1st round pick. Are we talking LaMichael or the P. Ryan that played for the Bengals today? Which one? Which P. Ryan? Which cousin? If we put weapons around Zach, we could be the Bengals next year. Zach Wilson is better. Okay, that last part's a little crazy. I don't know how we can say that at this point. And I'm a big Zach Wilson believer, but I don't know how we can possibly say that Zach Wilson is better than Joe Burrow right now. What would it cost to go get McBride? Talking Trey McBride was going to be drafted today, or like trade for McBride? Because I think if we're talking about the tight end, it's going to be pick 35 or 38. Jesus, KF 101, you're an absolute unbelievable, man. I know you hate Hamilton, but bro, he can drop in the box and we can keep deep threats at a minimum. And he's a ball hawking thumper. Hamilton is Ed Reed. 2022, take him if he's there at 4. Take Karlaftis at 10. Let's keep Zach on the field and not playing from behind. See, the thing is, it's very, it's going to be difficult to convince me on this KF 101. And I'm not going to tell you that Hamilton's a bad player. I don't think he is. I think someone's going to draft him and be very, very happy. With the number of needs that the Jets have, I don't think it's going to be this team. I don't think they've given me any indication, whether it be Salah, whether it be Joe Douglas or Ulbrich, that they value that position enough. I think you can sign a free agent for, I don't know, $12 million a year. One of them ones who are going to hit the market. Take one in the second or third round, and you'd be more than good to go. I think they're going to try to put a focus on getting after the quarterback in this defense. To me, I think that is the absolutely most important thing that they can do in this system. To me, that's the most important thing that you need to do on defense is figure out ways to get after the quarterback. That's how they're going to thrive the most. Really appreciate the super chat, man. And again, I get it. There's a lot of people who like Kyle Hamilton. He's another polarizing prospect. I find myself on the other side of that one, like in the Karlaftis debate. I like George Karlaftis side. I think he would be a fit for the Jets. I like Kyle Hamilton as a player, but I don't think that's the move for the Jets there. Really appreciate it. Kane Smith says Iquanu at 4 if Neil Hutch and Thib are gone. Burks at 10. Cam Thomas from SDSU at 35. McBride at 36. I think it would be 38. Verone McKinley. I like Verone McKinley a lot. I like Scene from Georgia. I think those are my two targets. I really wanted Jordan Battle to come out. I liked him a ton. I think he would have been an excellent fit in this defense. But he wants to stay at Alabama for another year. Can't say that, I fault him for it. He has a chance to go win a national championship. I don't think I would go back to school. I think I'd come out, but what are you going to do? Got to get a tight end also. Caden is right on the money here with that. You have to figure out a way to get a tight end. Stud City 718. You can draft a DJ Moore in the second round, like Frankie from Flatbush said. Maybe you can draft in a perennial 1,000-yard receiver in the second round. It's risky, but you might be able to do it. The Jets haven't had the best luck with second round receivers. I thought they changed that with Denzel Mims and Elijah Moore. Maybe with one of them. Elijah Moore looks pretty damn good. Denzel Mims had the year from hell this year and might not be on the roster in 2022, which is just downright crazy to me. But I don't know. Okay, this is a good comment from Jay here. We need to hire Casey Scouts for wide receiver. Tyreek Hill 5th round, Mecole Hardman round 2, pick 56, Pringle UDFA. That's the importance of the NFL draft, ladies and gentlemen. Sure, Patrick Mahomes sure helps a ton. Obviously, when you have the best quarterback in football, it makes your life very, very easy. But Andy Reid is probably the best play caller of our generation. And on the second part of that, they just find talent. Creed Humphreys got much later than a lot of people thought. And that's worked out. They picked up who's the other offensive lineman they picked up in the later rounds. That was a good find for them too. Wow. Tibbs, JFM, Quinnen Williams, Carl Lawson, the rise of the green machine. We really need to get Kayvon Thibodeau to fall out of 4. Then at that point, yeah, you're jumping all over him. That makes a ton of sense because that's your other edge. That's what you really need on this defense. Another edge presence who can get after the quarterback. And then that we'll really see that Jets defense thrive. What else do we got in here? Okay, we got a couple more. We'll do a couple more Hamilton comments. To be honest, Hamilton is a much better prospect than Adams and Derwin James were, and Adams was a 2-time All-Pro with New York. Great. I agree, but I don't know what having the best safety in football is really going to do for you. I don't know if that's going to massively improve your team. If you had an all-pro safety or an all-pro offensive lineman or wide receiver, I think that would make a much more bigger difference for this team. Or even just on the defense side specifically, an all-pro edge versus an all-pro safety. Or even let's not even go there. Let's say a Pro Bowl caliber edge versus an all-pro safety. I think for the Jets, the more important thing is the Pro Bowl level edge by how they're playing. And it goes down to positional value. Here's a great comment from Anders. Getting to the quarterback is the most important thing in pro football. Yeah, that's offensive defensive line is incredibly important in quarterback position. Those absolutely have to be your priorities here. And you're almost there on offensive line. They took some significant strides forward, but it's not done yet. You need more there. And obviously on the defensive line, you need more. Quinnen Williams is really, really good player, Pro Bowl level player. John Franklin Myers is a nice find. That was a really good find from Joe Douglas, by the way. Carl Lawson comes back, and you hope that he's going to be, as good as what he was in Cincy. And then you need another one on the other side. Thank you. Trey Smith. That was his name. I knew it was something Smith. I couldn't think of Trey. This is also a good comment. I'd rather have the scout from Pittsburgh for wide receivers. They find really good receivers all the time. All the time. It just seems like they always do. And it doesn't matter. Like, they let them go, and they just continue to find new ones and plug them in and have them play. Jackson Shaw, he says, "Hi, Matt. When it comes to my draft philosophy, it should be either help your quarterback or get after the other team's quarterback." Jackson, I agree. I think that makes a ton of sense because we know quarterback play really is the most important thing. So going to disrupt the quarterback or going to help your young quarterback is definitely the most important things here, which is what I expect the Jets to do at 4. I think my betting guess right now would either be offensive line or edge at 4 and then pick 10 wide receiver. I think that's really the move right now. Another good point from John. Salah's defense thrives on pass rush and thrives when we have the lead. And that's raw. And they work together. That's no coincidence, John. So when the Jets did get out to leads, which was rare, but when they got out to a lead, they could pin their ears back and really get after the quarterback. That's what they want to do. That's their plan on defense, and that's what they're good at. So that's what it really comes down to this year is whether it's in free agency or a trade. If you want to like try to land a Danielle Hunter or something like that, he might even be cut for God's sake. So, yeah, man, it's just more of that, please. This is a good comment. I remember saying Hendrickson was a one-year wonder, which I knew would be false. He was not a one-year wonder. He was not. How many sacks did he end up with this year? Obviously, he had a huge game today. We'll do this right now. Trey Hendrickson. 14. Jesus. 13 and a half sacks last year, 14 sacks this year. He's been really, really good. What did he do in the playoffs before today? He had a sack. And then he obviously had some big plays today too. So this is a really good player. And you're hoping that Carl Lawson could be that for you next year. He's just unbelievable. What else do we have? We're at a commercial. What are we at score-wise in this game? I've had my head down in the comments. I don't even think we have a score yet. Can someone tell me? I don't know. I'm going to hang out for another like 15 minutes or so. And then I got to cover this Islanders game. So I'm going to have the football game on the big screen, the Islanders game on my second monitor. And I'm going to be writing. That's what I'm doing tonight. Still 0-0. All right. That's what I thought. Let's watch this game for a second here. So this is Cam Akers, right? Didn't he have the same injury as Carl Lawson? And he's back playing right now? That's bananas to me. And it was around that same time too. That's really, that is just insane. Stafford is going to shit the bed. I have a feeling. I hope not. I really like Stafford. I thought he got a raw deal in Detroit, obviously. Um, but I'm rooting for him. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's underappreciated. Obviously, he threw a pick, which isn't great, but I think he's a good player. Here's Odell. Just flexed on someone. No penalty. No taunting. A lot of punts so far. What else we got in the chat? Couple Rangers fans in there. You guys are having a great season. I've been really impressed with the Rangers this year. I thought they'd be like another year away from competing, but they've definitely exceeded my expectations. They're a really good team. They're going to be a playoff team this year. Here we go. Hey, Matt, I've been watching some tape on Bradley and the defensive end. Thank you. That's who it was. We picked up from the Cowboys. He can be another Joe D steal. Huge upside. Yeah, Green Bean had a really good video on that as well. And he's someone who I thought, if I remember correctly, we talked about in the draft a couple of years ago, but Joe Douglas is not a perfect GM. He just flat out isn't. He's had his mistakes. Is this going to be our defense only time touchdown? Maybe. Oh, it hit. Let's go. Plus 600. Is that going to be a forward pass? Oh, that's going to be a tuck rule. Oh my God. What's the ruling on that? Someone get me a ruling on that. Incomplete. Damn it. That was my spot. Oh, that was gut wrenching. Hang on, I gotta tweet that out. Ah, sad. Back to this comment about the edge rusher from Dallas. Oh, that would have been a really nice win. Damn it. Listen, Joe Douglas, right, has been able to find these undrafted free agents or pick these guys up off practice squads or off the scrap heap and have them come in and play pretty good football. Quincy Williams, John Franklin Myers, they've had these guys. There's been other undrafted. No, Braxton Berrios was here already. I was gonna say I don't think that was a Douglas move. That might have been a McCagnon thing. I can't get over that. That was really close to the 49ers anytime touchdown score. Damn it. McBee boys, very, very sorry about your loss today. It was a good game. As I said at the top of the show, the reason why the Chiefs lost that game is because for some reason at Arrowhead, they let Walker Hayes come out and perform at halftime. That's when things went downhill. Outscored 17-3 after that. So not great. Matthew is saying that Douglas picked off Berrios up waivers. Okay. So yeah, I'm giving that one to chalk that one up to Joe Douglas too. McBee boys, we know the Jets aren't good, my friend. We've watched them miss the playoffs for 11 years in a row. Granted, I would be very upset too if my team lost an AFC championship game. I was in 2009 and 2010. I was 3 years old in 98, so I don't remember. But but it's okay. Patrick Mahomes is a very good quarterback. His fiance slash girlfriend and younger brother are annoying as all hell. So maybe this humbles them a little bit, but you'll be back. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Here comes the Rams. Now they're marching. '98 was most painful for me personally. I mean, that's the one that they probably should have won. They were up 10-0, right? And then they beat Denver in the regular season that year. No, again, I was 3 years old. I'm not going to pretend to know that I knew what was going on at that time. '03 is when I really started knowing what was going on. '04 playoffs was really when I got out at this. So 98 was, I mean, that team, I saw Jets X Factor had something put out about the 98 Jets versus the 2010. And while I always say the 2010 Jets are the best Jets team that I've seen, 98 Jets probably beats them, I would imagine. That offense was just on another level. It was. What do we got? Yeah, it was 10-0 on the road. Crazy. Here we go. KF 101, Jets Nation. Watching the 49ers is watching what we can be provided we crush this offseason perspective. I really freaking hope so, man. A ton of cap space to work with, a ton of draft assets to work with. You have a young quarterback. You just hope that they make massive strides. I would like them to be a playoff team next year. That would be phenomenal. But like, can they just take a legitimate next step forward and not be like, maybe marginal step forward? I don't know. Let's see. We got a few more minutes. Get your questions in. Like I said, I got to hop off at 7:30. So I'm only hanging out for an hour tonight. So get any questions that you want to hop in here and we'll answer them up. But a good conversation as always. I'll be on next Sunday. I don't think I'm doing this Super Bowl Sunday, but I will be here next Sunday, probably at the regular 7:00 time. But I'll have more information for you. Jack Gaming, which safety should we target in free agency? The one that I like the best is Marcus Williams. He is extremely good in coverage. Is almost never penalized, and he could intercept the ball, something the Jets haven't done in a really long time. They struggle with interceptions for some reason. So to me, Marcus Williams is my favorite free agent safety. There are absolutely other ones on the market, but he is definitely one that I would prioritize. And he's young too. He's the same draft class as Marcus May, but I believe is 2 or maybe even 3 years younger than Marcus May, which again is a good sign for a defensive back. There's Cooper Kupp again on the sideline. Man, he just feeds Cooper Kupp all day long. All day. Okay, here we go. I see at least 8 wins, at least if we keep going in the right direction. I hope so. I'd be happy. Like, it sucks that after a losing season, 8 and 9 would be a losing season, but I would be happy with 8 wins. I think that's my bar. 8, 9, 10 win range is my goal for next year, which is again in the hunt for a playoff spot. I think that should be the goal. If they're like, I don't know, 6 and 11 next year, that'd be pretty crappy. Unless there's like a bunch of catastrophic injuries, obviously. There's always caveats here, but I don't think we should be satisfied with, like, I don't know, going from 2 wins to 4 wins to 6 wins. It's the NFL. Things change rapidly. With McDaniels gone, who's going to finish grooming Jones? I think they have no choice but to hire Adam Gase. He is the most qualified person for the job. He did a phenomenal job with Peyton Manning in the Denver Broncos. He arguably got Jay Cutler his best year in the NFL in 2015. He made the playoffs with the Dolphins, which like that is just an accomplishment in itself. So if I'm Bill Belichick, I'm going out and I'm hiring Adam Gase. I think that is the only logical choice. Forget about like, I don't know, maybe bringing in someone from the coaching, the college ranks, or some other up and coming offensive mind. I think you just run it back with a proven commodity like Adam Gase. I think that's the only guy. Matt Feldman, who is our Debo, Braxton or Emore? Emore is closer. Braxton is not. He's a kick returner, punt returner, and good depth guy, but I don't. I think you scheme more touches to Elijah Moore. And I think even like a guy like Traylon Burks could be, and there's your Cooper Cup anytime touchdown score. It's like clockwork every week. You can set your watch to it. And maybe Traylon Burks, but I think Braxton's your depth guy. Chances for Schultz or Godwin. Godwin, I think, is going back to Tampa. I think they're going to try to make that happen. Schultz is someone that I really, really want. If he's franchise tagged, that would be really crappy. But Schultz and Marcus Williams are my favorite free agents that I would like. Cup is my MVP. That's a hot take. That's a very, very hot take. Offensive player of the year, probably most valuable player. It's probably going to be Rodgers, I think. Yes. 1189 Paris. It would be nice to not have so many injuries like the Jets have had. They had the most amount of cap space on injured reserve this past year. It's just unbelievable. Can they get a full season from their quarterback? Can you not have like catastrophic injuries to every single important person on the team? It's just really unbelievable. Oh, good question. Is Adam Fox the best New York City athlete? No, Jacob deGrom is. Adam Fox is a phenomenal hockey player, though. He's probably the best hockey player in New York, but best athlete is Jacob deGrom. I love this one from John. We're due to have an injury-free season. The Jets have been long overdue for that. Oh, God. That would be really nice. I think Garrett Wilson at 10 is the move. That's fair. Listen, I like Traylon. That's who I would like to see picked. But Garrett Wilson, I wouldn't be mad at Garrett Wilson. I don't see how you could. He's just always open. Depends on what you like. Garrett Wilson's a really good route runner, just finds himself open. Traylon Burks is a physical specimen that is just unreal. Just this unreal physical specimen. So you really can't go wrong. Oh, you're the Go Rangers guy. Listen, yeah, I'm an Islanders fan. I cover them too, as I work a million jobs, but I can appreciate what the Rangers are doing this year. I like good hockey. They're a fun team. I think they're close. I like that they brought in some more grit to their team. That's something that they were missing. I think probably need a little bit more on defense, and then they're all set. Obviously, Adam Fox is a stud, and they just score goals like nobody's business. But have a really great goaltender. I think they're close, but I think they need a little bit more. How about Gronk to the Jets? I think he's retiring with Brady. Last one for Lucas, because I just want to end his night on a good note. It was a clean hit, by the way. Ooh, okay. I could make an argument for Kevin Durant being the best New York athlete, though, even though I hate the Nets. Good point. I forgot about KD. It's probably KD and DeGrom, 1, 2. I'm not a really big basketball guy, so that's not where my mind went at first. But Kevin Durant absolutely has to be up there. Any final questions? I'll do one more question in the chat, and then I'm getting out of here. I'm not answering a question about the Bengals or Jamar Chase. There he is, Kyle Shanahan. Good coach. All right. I guess that's doing it. Oh, Jaceki as backup. All right. That's where we'll end up. We'll do one more for Lucas. Jaceki as a backup plan. No, I don't want Mike Jaceki on this team. I don't think he doesn't block at all. He's basically a big wide receiver. So, and he wants to get franchise tagged as a wide receiver. I think in this West Coast system, they definitely just need tight ends who can block a little bit, and Jaceki can't do that. So I don't think he's a fit. That's going to do it for me. Thank you for hanging out. We'll be back next Sunday. Won't be back on Super Bowl Sunday, but no games next week, which is kind of sad. New episode of Just Jets drops tomorrow, so make sure to tune in for that. I'll answer even more questions on the voicemail and so much more fun. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Thank you to everyone who sent in a super chat and who hung out with me in the comments here. Absolute blast. See you again next week.